Marriage is a commitment to love, in which people can find and bring out the best in each other. When two people promise to love and care for each other in marriage, they create a union unique to themselves, which binds them closer than any spoken or written word. And so now I ask, who presents Jo to be married today?
I do.
Thank you very much, Mikey. And so, Alastair, do you take Jo to be your lawful wedded wife? Do you promise to be not only her husband, but also her best friend, to be loving and faithful to her for the rest of your life?
I do.
And Jo, do you take Alastair to be your lawful wedded husband? Do you promise to be not only his wife, but also his best friend, to be loving and faithful to him for the rest of your life?
Jo, before I met you, I always thought finding the love of my life would be hard. I thought it didn't suit me and nobody would be right. But as it turns out, falling in love with you has been the easiest thing I have ever done. And you are perfect to me. You've made me feel someone so much more confident, happier. You've helped me look better too. I promise that I will do everything to help you achieve all the things you aspire to in life, and never let up and allow you to shine. So here I am on our wedding day, standing in front of the most stunning and beautiful bride I've ever seen, who also happens to be my rock, my best friend, and my soulmate. I promise to love you forever, enjoy every single day, and vow to keep that smile of yours beaming. I can't wait to share the rest of my life with you, because you need to make it work.
Moggy, I didn't realise just how much I wanted you to be my husband until you asked me to marry you. From the first time we met 9 years ago, I honestly felt you were the one. You were unlike any other boy I'd ever known. You were so engaging and interesting and fun. I was into you right away, and thank goodness, after some convincing, you felt the same way too. You made me feel like I'm enough, and you are so much more than the man I ever thought I'd be lucky enough to marry. I can't imagine living without you. You make every part of my life so much better. You're my compass and my home. You're my best friend. Well, you've done more for me than you'll ever know. So I faithfully vow to love you unconditionally until death do us part. No matter what life throws at us, I'll love you till the end, just as wildly as I did at the start.
I do solemnly declare that I know not of any lawful impediment why I, Alastair Mogford, may not be joined in matrimony to Joanna Elizabeth Shelton. Yes. I do solemnly declare that I know not of any lawful impediment why I, Joanna Elizabeth Shelton, may not be joined in matrimony to Alastair Mogford. I call upon these persons here present to witness that I, Alastair Mogford, do take thee, Joanna Elizabeth Shelton, to be my lawful wedded wife. I call upon these persons here present to witness that I, Joanna Elizabeth Shelton, do take thee, Alastair Mogford, to be my lawful wedded husband.
you give your love to me, you to me are everything, the sweetest song that I could sing. Oh baby, yes I need you, baby. You to me are everything, the sweetest song that I could sing. Oh baby, you are everything to me. Can't you see? You to me are everything, the sweetest song that I could sing. Oh baby, oh baby, you're everything. You to me are everything, the sweetest song that I could sing. Oh baby, you're the sweetest. Oh baby.
Is it a sin? Is it a crime? Loving you, dear, like I do. If it's a crime, then I'm guilty, guilty of loving you. Maybe I'm wrong, dreaming of you, dreaming the lonely night through. If it's a crime, then I'm guilty, guilty of dreaming of you. What can I do? What can I say after I've taken the blame? You say you're through, you'll go your way, but I'll always feel the same. Maybe I'm right, maybe I'm wrong, loving you, dear, like I do. If it's a crime, then I'm guilty, guilty of loving you. Maybe I'm wrong, loving you, dear, like I do. If it's a crime, then I'm guilty, guilty of loving you.
Bride and groom, Joanna and Alastair, put your hands together.
Just wow, where do I begin? Firstly, on behalf of my new wife and I, mine and Joe's story started a whopping 9 years ago. Back in those days I was pretty hopeless, haphazard, unstylish, massive geography and video geek. I hadn't had much luck finding love at uni, and with graduation fast approaching, I was sceptical that something good would happen. But then that's when I caught Joe's radiant smile from across the room in the Stag's Head in Southampton. Here was this really funny, gorgeous, sassy, and just super friendly person. person that I just wanted to know more about. Now, the connection was really there. It was that night that Joe called best friend Emily, told her all about me, and described me as much better looking in real life than in his Facebook profile. So that was the good news, that Joe really did fancy me. The bad news was that this muppet here spent the next few months completely denying this fact. At any point, Joe could have walked away, and I'm still stunned and amazed that she didn't. The point of this rather self-deprecating story for me is to repeat where I started this speech, just in thanking Joe. She saw something in me that was really worth waiting for. Her determination and willpower to stick around and really push for us to get together all those years ago is the reason that we're all here now. So to that I owe her everything.
Joanna looks lovely today. Doesn't she look lovely? She perfected her makeup technique at an early age whilst watching Steps videos. Faye Tozer has a lot to answer for. I can remember her doing complex mental arithmetic in a manner that left me totally baffled. After university, Joanna worked at Hever Castle and organised one of the happiest days of my life when we took my mum to a Spitfire flypast at a Second World War themed event. Both nannies, Betty and Beryl, would have loved to have been here today. The first time I met Alastair, whilst picking up Joe at an end of a university term, I thought, what a nice young man. And nothing has changed. He has turned out to be excellent at DIY and always manages to sort out my IT difficulties with great patience. When he came on holiday with us to Padstow in the early days, I knew back then that their relationship was long-term. And when Alastair asked our permission to marry Joe in December 2019, I was delighted to say, of course.
You are one of the strongest couples I know, and I'm so happy to call both of you some of my closest of friends. It's been a privilege to be part of the milestones you've reached, such as buying your beautiful home and your engagement and now your wedding. I'm so honoured to be here today as your bridesmaid and to be part of this amazing day. You both deserve a lifetime of happiness, and I know you will both have this with each other. I'm so excited for the years to come, so here's some more Christmas parties, summer barbecues, as well as hopefully lots more amazing milestones.
You really are the most amazing friend anyone could ask for. And I think I can say for all of us sat here today, you really do deserve the world, and I'm so glad that you found the man. I think I can... It's your phone, is it? I'm so glad you've met your Prince Charming and your soulmate. As I'm sure all of you know, Moggy really is Joanna's Prince Charming because she's such a little princess with him.
There is one thing that we all know about Joanna, it's that she absolutely loves a dance floor. And I have been lucky enough to have shared thousands with her for our friendship. There are many stories I could share, but when I tried to cut down to the ones I could share at a wedding, 99% of them went out the window. For instance, in 2012, on one of our infamous nights out to venue, may it rest in peace, Joanna and I were approached by a group of guys who claimed they were in the Brazilian football team for the Olympics that were happening in London that summer. Joanna and I were much too well trained to believe that ridiculous lie, and it was only when very hungover the next day and I googled the team, to my horror I found that the guy in our drunken pictures was the starting striker. We could have all been sitting at a very different wedding. Had Joanna and I not been so cynical!
As I've mentioned, I'm Joanna's older sister, but as we grew up, it didn't really seem like that. If anything, Joanna is a grown-up older sister. I admired and adored Joanna like many little sisters would. She was always there to pick me up after parties, has helped me make life-changing decisions, was always willing to do my makeup, and has kept me out of some serious trouble, but we won't go into those details. I'm so fortunate that Joanna has somehow managed to be both my little sister, who can be ridiculous with me, but also my big sister who looks up for me. It was so important for me for Joanna to find the perfect partner, and she really couldn't have found a more perfect match. There are many reasons why Joanna and Alastair are made for each other, but one specifically comes to mind: their dedication to each other and their loved ones. There are many instances of their dedication to each other, but one of my favourites is the fact that they shared a tiny single bed for over a year while saving for their first home. Now, Joanna is petite, but it was definitely a tight fit. They were willing to do this so they could be together. Joanna is also a dedicated sister. Last year, when things were difficult for me, Joanna stepped in to help me through it. She called me every day to check on me and helped me plan my day, prioritise and take care of myself. Her support made the world of difference to me, and I am so thankful to her for doing this. Sometimes it can be difficult living so far apart, but Joanna makes the distance so much easier. She is dedicated to taking care of the people she loves, a quality that she shares with Alastair. I'd like to finish with the perfect sentiment that has come from Alastair. During Joanna's hen, I discovered that I may have stained a marble bar counter with my overzealous pouring of hymns. When I confessed my mistake to Joanna, she told me not to worry. We can get another one, she said. As Alastair always says, everything is replaceable apart from you.
Now, it's funny, because I've heard a lot of revisionist statements during the speech in the wedding, but the Moggy I know is a grumpy old man. I've heard people say he's very positive, he's full of energy, and I'm like, this is not the Moggy that I've ever met. He's been a grumpy old man so long, it's like hard to imagine that he was born without slippers. It's really strange. Whether it's his absolute refusal to enjoy any kind of football or sporting event that isn't Formula 1, or the fact that he's loved craft ales since, I don't know, like 12. It's bizarre. Who gets into them that early? Wait till later. There's time. But it did lead to a sort of element of surprise when you meet Jo, and she's like the most positive, energetic, like patient, kind, wonderful person you'll ever meet. And you see Moggy, and you see them next to each other, and you're like, this doesn't make sense. I don't understand. Like, is it like opposites attract? I know, but this is too much. This is dangerous. It has been like a privilege to see, Moggy's dedication and love for Joanna, whether it's going down to Southampton from London every Friday night for 2 years without fail and without even a question, but of course he's going to go, of course he's going to spend his time with Jo, to them crafting their house into the most wonderful, heavenly little home in Sidcup. You might have been forgiven originally for thinking that these two almost opposite personalities would not get along at all, but as all good couples do, they take the parts of themselves that the other one has and they use it to support each other, whether it's Jo's endearing and wonderful energy and drive for making things brilliant and great, or Moggy's sort of mostly ignorance, but mainly strength of character. He's never worried. He's always the coolest cucumber you'll ever see. And that really works well with Jo, sort of her nervous energy can sort of laugh up against Moggy, which is useful, I think. But, if the first 9 or so years are anything to go by, I know that no matter what life throws at them, they will have the love and support of each other, and that will be more than enough to deal with any challenge that life could throw at them.
It was 2010, on the south coast of this nation, that I met this man, Moggy, at the Owuzu TV station. Our friendship kicked off, bridging the north and the south, with writing and filming and listening to his loud mouth. My partner in crime, through whom I made friends and mingled. Perhaps that's the reason why I remained single. now 2012, back when life seemed so simple. From the corner of his eye did we see a twinkle. A charming smart beauty with a long mane of fire caught the gaze of the man who left a lot to be desired. As much as I jest, I have nothing but love for my two friends whose union is sent from above. So please raise a toast to mark a new life to Alastair and Joanna, husband and wife.
I'm often asked when I realised I wanted to marry Jo. And in truth, there was no one time. Maybe it's all holidays and amazing places that we've travelled to, or how happy she makes me, or all the caring things she does, or the wonderful parent she is to Rusty, or just simply how easy she is to live with. But a few years ago, I heard the quote, "Don't marry the person you think you can live with, marry the person that you can't live without." Well, Jo, everything we've achieved and everything we hope to do is down to you. You're so caring, generous, and you bring out the best in everyone, myself included. You've changed my life for the better by leaps and bounds than I have ever imagined. And never did I think I'd be so lucky to have found you so early in life, and to marry my gorgeous best friend that I simply cannot live without. So, please, everyone, let's wrap this up. Let's all please raise a glass to everyone that I have thanked, from family to bridesmaids, to all of you here today, and of course to my most amazing new wife, to Jo. Cheers. Cheers. Thank you.
The sun will be shining.